So welcome to this latest video 162 Maths. In this video we'll be continuing with a series of going through some big mock questions taken from some GCSE Maths higher exam papers. Now before we get started, a little reminder that I'll include a copy of the question paper as a link in the description, and I strongly recommend that you have a attempt at the questions before watching these videos. We go through the answers just so you can test how well you would have done without any help. I'll also include a link to the 162 Maths contents page, which gives you easy access to all the GCSE topic lessons, audits and exam paper walkthroughs. So let's get started on question 1. So let's just zoom in so we can see it a little bit clearer on the screen. So question 1 says, work out 7 over root 2 multiplied by root 3 over root 10. Give your answer in the form of x root 15 over y, where x and y are integers. So for this, what we need to do is rationalise the denominators. As you can see, y is an integer. So the first thing we need to do is, let's start off by writing this a little bit bigger. So we've got 7 over root 2 multiplied by root 3 over root 10. Now as we're multiplying, we can just multiply the numerators together, multiply the denominators together, so that's going to be 7 root 3 over root 20. Then from this, what we then need to do is to rationalise the denominator. So again, either you can simplify root 20, which is root 4 root 5, which is 2 root 5, or you can just multiply it as it is. So here I'm just going to simply multiply by root 20. So from this, what we then get is we're then going to get 7 root 60 over 20. And then all that's left for me to do is simplify this, because obviously we need to try and get our root as 15. So root 60 is the same as root 4 times root 15. And so here we've got 7 times 2, which is what this root 4 is, multiplied by root 15 over 20, which then gives me 14 root 15 over 20. Then from this, what I can then do is simplify the 14 over 20, so divide both numbers by 2, so that becomes a 7, that becomes a 10, and as you can see there, I've now got my simplified answer. So it's 7 root 15 over 10, where x is 7 and y is 10. Moving on to question 2, it says work out the value of 5 and 1/16 to the power of a quarter. Now for this particular question, what we want to try and do is to write this as an improper fraction. Now to write it as an improper fraction, we multiply the big number by the bottom, add it to the top. So 5 times 16 is 80, add 1 is 81. So it's going to be 81 over 16 to the power of a quarter. Now if you remember the rules of indices and you've got fractional powers, the first one is the power, the new denominator is the root. So the fourth root of 81 is going to be 3, and the fourth root of 16 is 2. So the answer then is going to be 3 over 2, or you can write it as a decimal as 1.5. Then for question B, it says 49m to the power of 2.5. So again, if I just write that a little bit bigger. Now when we've got brackets, what do? Well, we multiply the powers. So that's going to be the same as 49 to the power of 2.5m. Then I can rewrite 49 as a power of 7. So that's going to be 7 squared to the power of 2.5m. And then again, I've got another set of brackets, so I multiply the powers. So that's going to leave me with an answer of 7 to the power of 5m. Moving on to question 3, it says, and let's just zoom out so we can see it a little bit clearer on the screen. It says PQRS is a quadrilateral. PQ is not parallel to SR. And it says that X is a point on QR. QX to QR to XR is in the ratio of 2 to 3. QX is 2A plus 4B. Prove that PQRS is a trapezium. Now, in the information that we've been given, the fact that we know that PQ and SR is not parallel basically means is that all we need to do is prove that PS is parallel to QR. Now, how do we do that? Is we show that PS is a factor or a multiple of QR. So from this, what we need to know is then work out what PS and QR are. There you go. So for this, let's first of all work out, now we know that using the information we've got here, that we know that QR to XR is in the ratio of 2 to 3. Now we know that QX is 2A plus 4B, and looking at the ratio, that is equal to 2 parts. So therefore, one part is going to be this vector divided by 2, so that's going to be A plus 2B. So therefore, XR, which is equal to 3 parts, is going to be 3 times this, which is going to be 3A plus 6B. So I can then write this statement here as 3A plus 6B. Now from this, what I can then do is I can then work out what XR is. So QR. So QR is going to be 2A plus 4B plus 3A plus 6B. And collecting all of that up, that's going to give me 5A plus 10B. And let's just stick and highlight that there. So that's this one found. So the next thing for me then to find is what PS is. So PS is equal to P to Q plus Q to R plus R to S. So PS, going in the direction I've just stated, so P to Q is going to be minus 5A, because we're going against the arrow. QR is what I found out, which is 5A plus 10B. And R to S, we can see is written as A minus 8B. So all that's left for me to then do is simplify that expression. So I've got 5A take away 5A, so those two things cancel. So looking at this, I've got A plus 2B. So that's what PS is going to equal. So all that's left for me to then do is to compare this statement here and this statement here. And as you can see, to get from this to this, all I need to do is multiply by 5. So you can then say as 5PS is equal to QR. PS and QR are parallel. And as we know, so as PQ and RS are not parallel. Oh, what's happened there? Then PQRS is a trapezium, because in a trapezium there's only one set of parallel lines, and that should be good. Now that seems like quite a lot, and I've probably gone into extra detail with regards to how I've explained that, but I would say 3 marks is a little bit stingy for this. You probably could excuse a lot of things. Now again, if you want to refer to the mark scheme, they will tell you where those 3 marks were awarded, but I would say that we've probably explained that quite well. Moving on to question 4, it says use Pythagoras to work out the value of x. Now this is pretty much a straightforward Pythagoras calculator question. So again, what we do is label the sides, where C is the side that's opposite the right angle, and then we just use Pythagoras' theorem of a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So here we've got 17.2 squared plus 12.9 squared equals x squared. Simplifying all of that, we get x squared equals 1,849 divided by 4, which is 462.25. So x is going to be the square root of 462.25, which gives me an answer of 21.5. Moving on to question 5, it says 3 shops sell the same type and size of lip balm stick. Which shop has the best value for 8 sticks, and what is the total cost in that shop? So for this, what we need to do is work out the cost of buying 8 sticks from each of the shops. So let's start with shop A. Now to get 8 sticks, I just need to buy 8 of those. So that's going to be 8 lots of £2.39, which if I type into my calculator gives me an answer of £19 and 12 pence. Then for shop B, now here we get buy one get one free, so it's going to be 4 at full price plus 4 at half price. So here the full price is £3.08 and half of that will be £1 and 54 pence. So we're calculating all of that, I get an answer of £18 and 48 pence. Then for shop C, it says pack of 4 was £11.40 and we get a sixth off. So for this what I'm going to need is 2 packs. So the discount value, which is what I need to work out first, is going to be £11.40 multiplied by 6. So the discount value is going to be £1.90. So then the price for 4 is going to be £11.40 minus £1.90, which gives me a price of £9.50. Now with shop C, what I need to do is I need to buy 2 of those. So 2 packs is going to equal 2 lots of £9.50, which comes up to £19. So all that's left for me to then do is to compare the prices. So shop A is £19.12, shop B is £18.48, and shop C is going to be £19. So which one's cheaper? Well, it's going to be shop B, and the total cost is £18 and 48 pence. Moving on to question 6, it says work out the volume of the prism. So again, for this what we need to do is first of all split, as we've got a compound shape, we can, well, there's a couple of things we can do. So we could work out the volume of this face here, work out the area of this, and then multiply that by 6 as the length. So this area here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 2. So that's 5 times 2, which is 10. This area here is 2 times 2, which is 4. So then the area of this, or the cross-sectional area, is going to be equal to 14. So the volume is going to be 14 times 6, which gives me an answer of 84. Then moving on to our last question, it says Tasha drove 198 miles. Her average speed for the first 3 hours was 45 miles per hour, and the average speed for the rest of the journey was 31.5 miles per hour. And the question is asking us to work out the average speed of the whole journey. So the first thing with this information, what we need to do is, if I just label the first section A and the second section B. So first we need to do is work out the distance of A. And the reason for that is because to work out the average speed, that's the total distance divided by the total time. So the distance for A, what we then need to do, and again using distance, speed, time. So to work out the distance, I've got to do speed times the time. So it's going to be 45 miles per hour multiplied by 3, which comes up to 135 miles. Then with this, what I then need to do is work out the distance of B. And again, from this, what we then need to do first is, well, we know that the distance of A is 135. We know that the total distance is 198. So to work out the distance of B, I take away those two numbers and I get an answer of 63 miles. Now the next thing that's left for me to then do is to work out the time of B. And again, using the formula, that's distance divided by time. So that's going to be 63 divided by the speed, which is 31.5, and that comes up to an answer of 2 hours. So using this information and using this formula here, we can then work out what the total distance is. So the total distance is 198 miles. And the total time is 2 hours plus 3 hours, which is 5 hours. So from this, all I've then got to do is 198 divided by 5, which gives me an answer on the calculator as 39.6 miles per hour. And there we go.